What's up, everyone? You're tuned into episode 801 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. We're coming at you on musicfrom412.com, buildthescene.com, rootarooradio.com, xrpradio.co.uk out of Scotland, megarockradio.net, and 107.1 KFGD FM in St. Louis, Missouri. And I feel like I forgot one. I always say that every week. I probably did. My name is Bill. I'm doing this live for the first time in a while. I have no idea what songs I played at the top of the hour. I'll let you know what they are at the end. With that said, with me tonight is Shelley Duff. Hello. I can't hear you. That's not good. Well, Shelley and I are live, but let's try. Shelley, go ahead and refresh your browser. While she's doing that, I will show you her website, and hopefully she shows back up in my software here momentarily.
Can you hear me now?
I can. That was so weird. Hey, so now everybody can hear you.
All right.
So I jumped to your website while you were gone. And so I guess we'll start there. So I'm going to scroll just a little bit here. Let's see. There we go. November 21st. So this weekend. Do you want to tell people about some upcoming shows that you have?
Yeah, so Friday I'm performing in on the North Shore at Southern Tier, and on Saturday on the 22nd I'm going to be at Helltown Brewing in Butler. So there's a lot of different locations. I played just about all of them, but this Saturday I'm going to be at Helltown in Butler, and that is from 7 to 10, and then Fridays at the Southern Tier, Friday show at Southern Tier it's a happy hour, so it's 5 to 7. So a little bit earlier for Friday, but perfect after work to kind of stop over and unwind.
That's the one by PNC, right? PNC Park?
Yes.
Yes. I've been there one time. It was my brother's bachelor party, and we went to a whole bunch of places to serve alcohol. I don't drink. And it was a interesting day. Cool place. So we kind of went backwards with this. Normally I ask that at the end, but the website was up. So let's talk. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, can I say your alter egos, your two different performing styles?
Sure. So I have what I perform out. I do mostly acoustic. I have a band, but we do, stuff people know. So I have a lot of different things going on. I have my acoustic and solo project. I released an EP of original music in June, and that fits a lot of like what I do playing out acoustically. I do a lot of my original music as well. People have been asking for it, which like makes me so happy. And it kind of fits the vibe of what I do, which is like 90s, a lot of 90s stuff, 80s, Fleetwood Mac, kind of fits right into that. And then I have a harder rock project called Aurora Fire. And that is more studio. You can listen to it online, but we don't have shows. We're not performing out right at the moment. That is definitely a goal for the future. So those are my two alter egos.
And we're going to hear some Aurora Fire stuff a little bit later. But
yeah,
before we get to that, I told you I was going to ask you a pizza question. We'll start there. So I have an unofficial Build a Scene question and a official Build a Scene question. They're both because of YouTube. The pizza one is because of the One Bite Pizza. Why can't I think of his name right now? El Presidente. What's his name? Dave. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
It's like Picorni, something like that, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So the question is real simple. It's what's the best pizza you've had because you're a musician. So you have to link it to a recording session, like going to or from a gig,
Oh,
something like
easy.
that.
So my favorite pizza is Fiore's. And after I perform at Lamont, it's like you have to go to Fiore's after the show. So I'm done at like 10:30 and it's off to Fiore's. And I always see other musicians when I'm there that are after their gigs, like sitting there eating pizza at midnight at Fiore's. In it's not Dormont, but it's like on the way to Dormont. Is that Brookline? It's Beachview. Actually, they're in
Okay. I
yeah, that's
honestly
my
I was just talking about the other day with Rocky Lamondi. I don't know if he owns Music from 412. And I was like, listen, I have not been to any of the famous Pittsburgh pizza shops.
oh, you go to Fiore.
I live about 45 minutes north of the city. So,
Where do you live?
Leechburg?
Okay. I don't know any place out that way. I mean, I know places. I don't know any place
New
out there,
Kensington,
but,
Vandergrift.
okay.
Yeah.
You got to go to Fiore's, Minio's. You got to hit the Pittsburgh pizza.
That's
hot
I think
spot.
I think the plan is after that conversation that we're gonna go to Minio's the next time I'm out of his studio.
You can't go with Minio's either.
All right, so the official question, also because of YouTube, for years, no matter what I watched on YouTube, Dave Grohl or the Foo Fighters would show up on my coming up list. And in the beginning, I don't even know how he got there because I didn't really listen to him. I do now, but then I didn't. But the question is, who is your Dave Grohl? And by that I mean, who do you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their original songs? Because the Foo Fighters are known for pulling people out of the crowd and letting them play with them.
Oh, I mean, like, I probably, if I could do any song with anybody, huh? It's a really tough question because I have so many different things I like my favorite band. I love Nine Inch Nails, like love them. But I'm like, would I want to perform that? No. So maybe like like uninvited, something like yeah, I would say that would be I would love to like sing Uninvited with Alanis Morissette.
My son is trying to put a medley together of like 20 years or 30 years right now for school. And he's like, but they want to play it on like a brass quartet. And I'm like, you should play Tool. No, we can't play Tool. No, you can't play that. All right, so what we're going to do is in about a little more than 2 minutes, we're going to listen to the Roar Fire tracks. Do you want to introduce them and maybe tell us a little bit about one of them, and then we'll talk about the other one when we come back?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one that's already out now is called Bring the Noise. And I wanted to write a song that was like, it's going to pump you up. Like the thoughts that I had is like, you just kind of had it with things like you're fighting, you're bringing the noise, you're taking the night over, like kind of going to battle, fighting something. And it's got some really kind of like cool, interesting sounds. Paul Cunningham played synth on it, and he came up with some like really cool, eerie type of sounds to it. It gives it like a spooky vibe. So I pitched it to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they liked it and actually played it for the day before Halloween, October 30th game. And it was on the break, like going into the commercial, and they were playing like after my song was played, and then at the next commercial break was like "Don't Fear the Reaper," and I was like, man, I am in some like really good company here. So that is Bring the Noise.
I feel like right around that game probably was when I first messaged you to see if you wanted to do this, right? Yeah, I think that's
so.
what it was. I think I saw your post about that. I'm like, wait, she has stuff that fits my show?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
It was, you started telling it, I'm like, wait, that's what it was.
So like that was a moment where like I knew they liked this song and I knew that they were going to play it, and it had to be in the right spot in the game, like because you're talking about like we're bringing the noise, like we're fighting, we're doing, so it had to fit like an actual like goal or something good, and it was like third period and they hadn't scored yet, so they weren't like bringing the noise. So I'm like, man, is it even going to be played? Like, what's going to happen? And then I'm like, my mom's texting me like, where is it? I had like my family like watching. I'm like, I don't know. I just know like they said that this is when they were going to air it. And I'm like, it's going to commercial. They had just scored and they started playing it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, trying to grab my phone, like trying to record it. It was like probably one of the best musical moments of my life hearing it.
That's very cool. Especially, I'm a huge Penguins fan, so that's probably what caught my eye at first. And then I was like, oh wait, this goes with what I do. All right, so we're gonna take a moment and we're gonna listen to Bring the Noise, and the other track is
Liminal Decision, and that comes out on Friday the 21st.
And we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll be right back. Hey, it's Bill again. You are tuned into episode number 801 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. I am speaking with Shelley Duff tonight. And there she is. So we learned that Shelley plays acoustic, but she also has a metal project, and we just heard two of her tracks. And the reason I'm letting her introduce the song is because I cannot get that first word of the second song to stick in my head.
So it's liminal decision. So liminal is like in between. So like a liminal moment, or like a liminal place, it's like a hallway. So somewhere like in between. You're not in this room yet. You're not out of that room. So to me, like liminal decision is, and I'm a lawyer by day. I do criminal defense, and I'm like always fascinated by those moments that change people's lives. So like there is a moment that occurs where somebody like pulls a trigger or they do something that changes the course of their life completely. And so to me, it's that like liminal moment where that thing hadn't happened yet and your life isn't that way that it was anymore. And so that's what that song's about. So liminal is like that in-between moment before your life like really goes in a different way.
So that like set up a question perfectly. And only people that have watched the movie will understand why. But so you're leaving a show, and there's a DeLorean sitting outside with its door up in the air and a flux capacitor in the back. Where are you going in time, and what band are you going to play with? Because Marty goes back in time and he plays with Chuck Berry's cousin, and when he goes back in time, he's going back in time to fix a decision that was made to screw up his life. So there, I kind of explained how it's related. But where are you going, and who are you going to play with?
These are tough questions because I like so many different bands. If I was going back, probably like Led Zeppelin, like playing with Jimmy Page, or like, singing. That to me is such like a definitive moment of music in my life. But then I also like, I'm a big fan of like all the 80s, like new wave, like The Cure, The Cult, all that stuff too. So like that would be really fun, kind of going back to the 80s, getting into that scene.
I'm going to make this a little easier on you. I'm going to ask the question I told you earlier. So you're going to go on tour. You hire me to drive your bus. What music are we going to listen to in between shows?
We're listening to Nine Inch Nails. We're listening to that. Everything, all the Halos, all the songs, Nine Inch Nails, all the way.
I'm going to date myself. I had a single for had like a whole on cassette, and there are like nine different versions of the song on it. I'm sure I have it somewhere.
Do that. I love that. All the different versions of the same song.
Yeah, I have no idea. It was the cassette was black. I remember that. No idea where it is now though.
Yeah,
But
somebody was asking me if I was going to release cassettes. So my EP, I've released original music under Shelley Duff, so stuff that is more of like my acoustic stuff, and I did CDs. Actually, I was surprised how many people bought them, but I don't have a way to play CDs. And then somebody told me that cassettes were coming back. I'm like, I
yeah.
don't think they're gonna. I don't see that happening. I know vinyl's back, but I'm not sure about these cassettes.
So I drive a 2006 Buick. I have a cassette player and a CD player in it.
I'll give you one of my CDs when I see you. I have a few left.
And then I bought an Android Auto device that hangs on my dashboard, and I can make my phone do what, I'm a tech guy. I'm driving a 20-year-old car. All right, so let's see. This is a weird question. If I need to reword it after I ask it, I will. But you're standing at the same corner that Robert Johnson sold the crossroads where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil to become the best guitarist of his time. Why are you there?
You mean like what would I sell my soul for?
Yeah. And if you don't like how that's worded, what's a goal that you haven't reached yet that you're still gunning for?
Oh, I mean, a goal that I would love is for my original music to be played all over the world, for people to enjoy it, to listen to it, and it's tough as an artist to, like, you want to put your music out into the world with no expectations and just kind of put your creations out there and hope that people enjoy it. But there's that little ego part of you that really wants it to, reach as many people as you possibly can have it reach. And that's a goal, struggling. So I read something today that there is over 100,000 songs released on Spotify every single day, every day. Like, think about that
Wow.
number. So how do you get your original music heard by people who could become fans? And it's not about like going viral. It's just finding people that'll come to your shows or people that'll download your music or watch your videos on social media. So that is something I wouldn't sell my soul for it, but that's a goal that I would love to have, is like a worldwide reach of my original music.
If you could, it's kind of links with that. If you could write a song with anybody, any songwriter in basically in the history of the world, who would you want to write with?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. That's a lot of great, amazing, talented songwriters to choose from. I don't know if I have an answer for that. Like I think of people who are like amazing songwriters, like Diane Warren or Carole King, people that write very heartfelt songs that you can kind of connect to. I don't know. I don't really have an answer to that of who I would like. There's not one particular songwriter that I think like, man, I would really love to write with them.
So last episode I had my kids on, who are, I have a 17-year-old and twin 15-year-olds. And I asked my son that same question. He's like, well, what do you mean by that? I'm like, well, who would you want to write with? And he's like, well, what would they do? I'm like, well, you would write some of it and they would write some of it. And he's just looking at me. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. I write by myself, and I use Craig Arlett. He does a duo acoustically with me, and I'll send him some ideas and he'll produce, and he produced and played all the guitar work on all of the Aurora Fire stuff. But I feel like I write best alone. and I change lyrics and work through stuff on my own. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I would never be a team songwriter and do, I know there's like songwriting groups and things like that, but I like just kind of like working on my own. I've always been that way.
Um, so we have about a minute. So I'm going to give you this one. So you have 30 seconds on national TV, and you're going to try and convince people to come to one of your shows. What are you going to tell them?
Come out and see me. We have a lot of fun. I like to be interactive with people and I try to play songs that people want to hear if you're going to come out to see me. It's always about the people that are there and having a good time and playing. I can play if you want to hear cover songs that you know and love. I have over 200 songs that I can play. I try to do things to make it fun for everybody that's out there. And I would love for everybody to stream my original music as well and listen to all of my original creations and come out and ask to hear one of my original songs.
So for those of you that aren't watching the video, you're only listening to the radio show or the podcast. It's shelleyduff.com.
Wait, I got to say something. You got to add the EY. Everybody.
I was going to say that.
I know. They'll never find it.
So SHELLEYDUFF.com. So we're going to take our second break and we'll be back with Shelley in just a moment. And I do know we're going to play Neostem's brand new song. I believe it's called Glum. That's going to happen right here, even though I don't have anything else prepared. So that's coming up right now. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back on fourth segment number 3 of episode 801. With me tonight is Shelley Duff. If you're just tuning in, you can head to her website, shelleyduff.com, SHELLEYDUFF.com. We definitely just heard Neostem and their new song Glum. I played something else with it. We'll fill it in later. For anyone who's now getting that view behind the curtain, the interviews are done live, and then the radio show and podcast is done afterwards. And usually I have a plan, but I got home late. So no plan today, and that's why I seem disorganized. And you can't see my hands moving while I'm talking with my hands. But okay, so off the air, Shelley and I were talking. She mentioned that she is a lawyer, and there are some things that she has plans to do. And I'm going to give her a moment to talk a little bit about that. And those of you that are musicians can contact her and help her figure out where she's going to go with it. So I'll be quiet now.
No, on the break, I've been doing original music. I've been a lawyer for a long time. I've done criminal defense, but I also want to help artists and venture into, doing entertainment law because I feel like there's a real need for that right now. There's a lot of changes in the law, a lot of things with AI and songwriting and rights. And I'm working on putting together part of my practice to help people that are artists in what they need, and I also feel like there's a need for promotions as well and learning how to do promotions and contact other, different things that can help get your music out there. But my question was, we were talking on the break, is finding out what musicians need help with. Like, what do they want legal help with? What are things that are important that I can possibly help in my future so that I know there's a particular need for something and can kind of gear my future practice around what's out there that people need help with right now. I think is the easiest way to put it. So I'm open if anybody has anything like, hey, I really need work with contracts, or I want help with my copyrights, or what is trademarks and intellectual property, or how do I do this? How do I do that? Let me know. And I would love to put something together for musicians to help.
Very cool. So they can contact you through your website. Is there any easier way, or is that how you would like them to do it?
No, probably my website's the probably most difficult way because it goes through like an email subscriber thing. But you can find me on my social medias. I'm on Instagram at Shelley Duff. I am on Facebook. I have a TikTok. And then just send me a DM. Let me know, that you listen to this and this is some stuff that you would want some help with, or might want an attorney's, opinion on, so probably like through social media and my website.
Yep.
Easiest ways.
So all show you've been wearing the Berklee sweatshirt, and I know Berklee School of Music is a big deal, so I'm gonna give you a moment to talk about what you did with Berklee.
I did their guitar program. So they have an online program. So I'm based in Pittsburgh right now, but they had it online, still do have an online program. So I did their guitar certification through Berklee, which was amazing and very difficult. And you have access to amazing teachers. I also did some, business stuff through Berklee as well. They have some great music business type courses that's what I'm kind of focusing on right now as well. But yeah, I did their guitar program.
So I know a few people that have gone through Berklee. Lee Caruso, who is a producer and co-owner of a small record label that I'm not going to throw the name out on yet. And some other things. He went to Berklee, and then I believe Paul Peterson from Big House Pete, I believe he went to Berklee. But pretty big thing, pretty cool. And I probably don't want my son to hear about it right now, but if you watch episode 800, you'll understand why I said that. He plays like 100 different instruments. But anyway, so we have about 4 minutes, a little more than 4 minutes. I'm trying to think. I haven't really asked you a lot of my oddball questions. I've asked a handful. How about this? I have a question. It's called the Diesel Beast question. It's the first band I asked the question to, and so far I don't think anyone's topped their answer yet. It's if you could play anywhere in the world, so a non-standard venue, like you don't have to be in a stadium or in an arena. You could be on a street corner and play with any band in the history of the world. Where would you want to play, and who would you want to play with? And while you're thinking about it, for those of you that aren't familiar with Diesel Beast's answer, it was they wanted to play at Stonehenge with Dio.
Oh, I mean, Stonehenge would be incredible. That would be awesome. Stonehenge, would I say Stonehenge too? Like, I've been to Stonehenge. That was awesome. But like, I don't know where I'd want to play. You're asking some really tough questions. It would be somewhere like when initially like Red Rocks is where I'd love to have a show there.
You could pick Red Rocks.
Red Rocks and like my band, like Aurora Fire at Red Rocks. Like that's what I'm gonna put out there.
I like it. Maybe you could get Trent Reznor to come.
Yeah, oh yeah. We could open for Nine Inch Nails.
Let's see. Jazz Byers. Are you familiar with Jazz?
I am not.
Half Will. All right. Well, Jazz plays a bazillion instruments as well. He owns Rattleclack Entertainment, travels all over the world. He has Jazz's Rock and Road Show on Music from the 412. When he's out traveling the world, he does like tours of whatever city he's in, calls back to Pittsburgh, interviews bands, and then the bands come to his studio and play in his studio. It's a very cool show. But the reason I bring it up is Jazz was in Antarctica about a year ago and played one of his songs at the South Pole, and there's video proof that he did it. And Kiss has played in a bay in Australia to Sharks, and Metallica has played in this in Antarctica as well. Van Halen played on the roof of a skyscraper. Where is? See, I'm going to stick you with this non-standard venue thing, but you got to pick somewhere weird.
I love Iceland. I've been there 3
Oh.
times. So maybe somewhere like out on a glacier in Iceland, with Bjork.
I
And
like
there,
it.
but yeah, I mean, it might be a little cold there, but that's okay. I still think that would be just playing some. Bring the Fire would fit. One of those Nordic. It's got like that Nordic kind of going to war vibe to it. So Bring the Noise out in some glacier, volcanic lava rock place in Iceland. That's my answer.
Very cool. I have a funny story from school. I'm teaching my 5th graders about space right now, and they asked me a question about the moon that I didn't know an answer. And I was like, I don't know if anyone's ever been on the dark side of the moon. I'm like, I assume maybe. And they're like, well, can't we send somebody there? They're like, send your friend Jazz, because he did experiments for them when he was at South Pole. So Jazz was like, tell him if I can get someone to take me there. That would be, although in space there's not a lot of particles in the air, so sound won't travel, but you could still try and play on the moon. All right, so once we're at the end, in case you couldn't tell, make sure everyone goes and checks out shelleyduff.com, SHELLEYDUFF.com. Shelley, I want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you. And they can also find Aurora Fire Music, and that's also on social media as well. And the new tune will be out on Friday. I'm excited for everybody to hear it.
And with that said, we're going to sort of head off in the evening. Shelley's gonna leave. I'm gonna give away some tickets for Dressy Entertainment, and then I'm out of here too. If you are watching us live, you can tune into the radio station, buildascene.com/radio, music from 412/radio.com/radio, XRP radio.co.uk. I knew I forgot one. Metalshop101.com. All of those will be live at 10 p.m. Well, sort of live. You'll hear me live, DJing a little bit at 10 p.m. tonight, and you'll get to hear Shelley's songs that we mentioned earlier, and all the songs that I didn't mention because I don't know what I'm playing at that point. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and press the button, which brings up me giving away the tickets, and Shelley's going to head off. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you for having me so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. What's up, everyone? It is that time of the show where I'm going to spin the wheel, and Dressy Entertainment is going to give someone 2 tickets to one of their shows. This one happens to be the Super Suckers with Scott H. Bierum with King Sickabilly. The show is December 16th at the Craft House. It is 21 and over. If you do not win tickets, you still have a month to go purchase some tickets. You can head to dresskyentertainment.com or crafthousePGH.com for more information. I had 4 people sign up. They were Keith Ladig, Peggy Spiker, Justin Todd, and Andrew Carr. I put them on there a whole bunch of times. I don't even know how many times, but they're spinning up above me. You can see their names are on there. I'm going to hit shuffle once and twice, and we're going to spin and find out who is going to win those tickets. And the winner is Keith Ladig. Keith, keep an eye on your email. You're going to get an email from me confirming that you won, and then you'll get a follow-up email from Dressy Entertainment, and they will tell you how to get a hold of those tickets. If anyone else is interested in checking out our contest, head over to musicfrom412.com/contest and follow the directions. And with that, head it back to the Pennsylvania Rock Show.